You are alive because something almost killed you? That's not philosophy. That's genetics. Inside your body lives in ancient fear. I'm James. I work at this museum. I spend my life reading bones and ash. Today I'm going to tell your story. 74,000 years ago, on the island of Sumatra, the earth blew itself to pieces. Mount Toba erupted at an 8 on the scale. Nothing bigger has happened in 2 million years. 2,800 cubic kilometers of rock and ash shot into the sky in a single day. Lake Toba now stretches over 60 miles. You can still see that scar from space. Ash fell 15 centimeters thick across India. Trees died, water sources were poisoned. Every living thing choked under that grey blanket. But the ash was the easy part. Billions of tons of sulfur dioxide blasted into the stratosphere. Sunlight was blocked, the world went dark. Global temperatures dropped 5 degrees Celsius. A volcanic winter lasted an entire decade. Crops wouldn't grow. Forests withered and died. Everything our ancestors depended on disappeared. And then the human population dropped to 3,000 people on the entire planet. Not 3,000 in one region, 3,000 for all of humanity. A single football stadium could have held them all. We almost got wiped out completely. Just 1 or 2 more generations and it was over. Would you be sitting here today? If the wind had blown just a little differently? If the volcano had erupted just a little bigger? If those 3,000 people had been less lucky? Can you feel that in your bones 12,800 years ago? Something from space came crashing down over the Laurentide ice sheet in North America. An airburst, it left no impact crater, but it destroyed an entire hemisphere. Temperatures dropped 7 degrees in decades, not centuries, decades. The melting ice suddenly stopped like a switch was flipped. Scientists call it the Younger Dryas boundary. Inside that geological layer are nanodiamonds, diamonds only formed in cosmic impacts. Tiny glass beads from rock melted and resolidified. And abnormally high concentrations of platinum. Platinum is rare on Earth, common in space. Then a thick black layer of charcoal covered North America. Forest fires burning across the continent at once. Above that charcoal layer, the bones disappear. The Clovis people, ancient hunters of North America, they're in the lower layers. Then gone completely in the layer above, no transitional phase at all. 35 species of large mammals went extinct. Mammoths, saber-toothed cats, giant ground sloths, American camels, American horses, dire wolves all gone. They had lived for millions of years before that. Then vanished in the same geological instant. The world ended that day. Everything they built was burned to nothing. Have you ever wondered why we're afraid of a red sky? That's a memory from that black layer. 8,000 to 100 years ago, off the coast of Norway, a chunk of continental shelf the size of Scotland collapsed. 3,500 cubic kilometers of earth slid into the deep ocean in minutes. As tsunami waves reached 25 meters high, the Shetland Islands took the full force. Marine sediments found 80 meters above sea level, 80 meters above today's ocean. Waves hit the coast of Scotland, traveling 50 miles inland at speeds of 300 miles per hour, faster than the planes you fly on. And then Doggerland, the lost land, a low archipelago in the North Sea. Mesolithic people lived there for thousands of years. Waves 20 meters high swept everything away. Their stone tools just vanished from the seabed, no high ground to run to. An entire culture erased in one afternoon, no warning, no earthquake on land. The sea just pulled back and then returned. But that time, the sea came back wrong. They had no idea what was happening. Do you think you would understand? In 1984, off the coast of Israel, archaeologists found the village of Atlit Yam submerged under 12 meters of seawater. Dated to 6,300 years before Christ, they built square stone houses with streets. They dug freshwater wells lined with fitted stones. They erected 7 massive stones around a spring, older than Stonehenge by thousands of years, and then the sea came in a single day. 65 human skeletons still lying where they sat, fish already sorted and stored in pits, cooking tools left exactly where they were set down. A mother holding her child with tuberculosis, the disease that killed more humans than any other. They already had to be 8,000 years ago, but that's not what killed them. Mount Etna collapsed 1,000 miles away in Italy. The tsunami hit Israel's coast within hours. They were eating lunch, no warning at all. No myth prepared them for what was coming. They were just farmers and fishermen by the sea. The village is still down there today, still arranged the way they left it. Does that send a chill down your spine? In 373 BC, Greece, the city of Helike went to sleep in the Corinthian Gulf and never woke up again. The entire city vanished in one night. The Temple of Poseidon, famous across the ancient world, sank beneath the sea in just hours. Strabo wrote that tourists rode over it, looking down to see Poseidon's statue underwater, his trident glinting in the sunlight. An earthquake at midnight, the ground split open. A tsunami swallowed everything. 10 Spartan warships destroyed instantly. Every resident of Helike died. But here's the most haunting part. Days before, the animals fled: snakes, mice, weasels, centipedes leaving the city. The sky glowed an eerie green. Geologists now call that a precursor signal. But the ancient Greeks didn't understand. They saw the signs but couldn't read them. The city was buried twice, first by seawater, second by silt and sediment. It wasn't until 2001 that we found it, buried deep beneath the coastal plain. That's the real Atlantis in history. Plato wrote about Atlantis right after he definitely knew about Helike. A city could be there at night and gone by sunrise. The sea is patient, the earth is not loyal. Do you see the lesson behind all this? Now you finally understand why fear is carved so deep inside us. Fear of the dark from Toba's black sky. Fear of rising water from waves that swept everything. Fear of earthquakes from Helike's collapse. Fear of nameless things falling from above. Your DNA carries all of that, not philosophy, biology. Humanity almost died, and you are the survivor. Look at your own body right now. Feel that fear when the lights go out. That's not an anxiety disorder. That's the memory of 10,000 generations. We're standing in this museum right now, surrounded by bones and ash. But you're alive, you're breathing. What does that mean to you? Leave a comment and let me know. Are you ready to face that truth? Because what comes next, we don't know. Toba could happen again. Another rock could fall from space. Another continent could collapse. But this time, we have cameras rolling, and some of you will survive. Your descendants will tell the same story. Subscribe to find out more. And watch the next video on your screen now.